Now in this video, I'm going to be talking about what to expect from Xaku. Now, if you are looking for a frame to play, I do recommend Xaku. Every frame in this game is fantastic. Every single one of them has the ability and the capacity to go all the way up to level cap if you want them to. Xaku more than most. The reason for that is simple. Xaku has insanely high damage scaling. It's to the point where pretty much their best use is in endurance steel path and going to level cap. The reason for that is because Zaku's second ability, Grasp of Lock, scales with your strength times enemy level. So the higher the enemy level, and obviously the higher your strength, the more damage it will be doing. This is incredibly useful in endurance steel path. So with 200% strength at level cap, you're going to be doing around 1,000,000 damage per shot with the second ability, which is just insane. At level cap, that's enough to be shredding some enemies with ease, especially with Zaku's ability to shield and armor strip, with the third ability, Gaze, shielding armor stripping enemies in a radius at that. It's just so incredibly useful, it's not even funny. And then if you wanted to, you could also cast Accuse to turn enemies into allies, essentially just mind controlling them and leaving them free from the effect of Gaze, meaning they have their armor and shields back. And with Deny, making enemies float in the air as a form of crowd control and wiping out sentience. They're incredibly useful in pretty much any form of game mode as well, with the ability to armor shield strip, make enemies float for crowd control, and just wipe down their sentience. And also, void damage does 1.5 times damage to overguard, meaning that enemies with overguard, such as Xmas enemies or any other type that just so happen to have overguard, will have that overguard removed much quicker than before, essentially making it appear as if they didn't have it at all to begin with. That is why the first ability, especially paired with the fourth ability, the Vast Uptime, is incredibly important. Now, the first ability adds void damage to all of your weapons. This is incredibly amazing because not only does it add a void bubble which attracts damage, it, like I said, deals 1.5 times damage to enemy overguard. And on top of that, the Vast Uptime, the Vast Untime also does the exact same thing with adding damage vulnerability to void damage. On top of that, the Vast Untime quite literally freezes all of your durations in place. So long as you keep this fourth ability upkeep, every single one of your other abilities will never run out, meaning you can always have void damage activated. You can always keep Gaze activated, so every single enemy that enters the radius of that first enemy will have their defense reduced by a lot, essentially just armor and shield stripping them. And any accused enemies will forever stay on your side until they die. And that also means when you're using your turrets with Grasp of Lock, they will forever stay yours. No enemy will be able to take them from you no matter what. Essentially making Xaku a very passive autoplay Warframe. The only problem with Xaku, specifically in my opinion, is their survivability. Using the fourth ability, the Vast Untime, gives you a 75% dodge chance, which is nice, it's lovely. The only problem is that's the only form of survivability, aside from the crowd control abilities that they have. Now, you could put on shield gating, but not everybody likes shield gating. So if you don't like shield gating, Xaku would become quite annoying for you, because 75% chance, while it does sound like a lot, it's actually pretty bad if you're in a group of enemies. If there's one enemy, it's fine. 75% chance per attack, you could get away with it. In a group of enemies, 75% chance per attack essentially means you have no survivability. Unless you somehow get super lucky and dodge every single attack, you're gonna be dead in just a few hits. This makes Xaku more of a glass cannon than anything else. Now, if you can get around that, then Xaku is quite literally probably the best Warframe in the game. But with that being said, that's pretty much just about it. So to expect from Xaku is pretty much infinite duration, insane crowd control capabilities, the ability to armor and shield strip any enemy in the game, shred overguard, which a lot of people find pesky, annoying, and extremely tedious, and unfortunately just a little bit of low survivability, which can easily be overcome with either throwing on a Dante Spectre for overguard or throwing on shield gating. which, like I said, not everybody loves doing. And so, with that being said, that's pretty much just about it. So, tell me, do you love Xaku? Do you hate her or hate them? And with that being said, until next time.